Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to another weather forecast. I'm Dooley Godot, your meteorologist, and this is Elite Weather. This is your Tuesday afternoon, and this is May 21st. So thank you for joining me today in another video as we're going to be talking about the severe weather that we are expecting across a good portion of the Midwest, the heat down in Texas, and the lovely weather on the West Coast. Just a beautiful day out there over the western half of the United States. But if you're in the Midwest, in the plains, we're going to be seeing another round of severe weather today. And some of that is going to be some fairly high-level severe weather, as we have a particularly dangerous situation across the Midwest, as we're going to be seeing severe thunderstorms capable of producing very large tornadoes across Iowa, all the way up into Minnesota, Wisconsin, down through Illinois and Indiana. We're going to be seeing those severe thunderstorms today, and they're going to be producing some very large tornadoes. And the possibility of another derecho. We had another derecho yesterday, and that was down across Kansas. So we saw a haboob as well. So that derecho also kicked off a very large dust storm out ahead of that advancing storm system. So a lot of active weather across the Midwest and a lot of heat down to the south. So South Texas, we're looking at some extreme heat situation where dew points are in the 80s. So we're seeing those heat indexes in the low 100s. Pretty early for this time of the year. So again, let's jump into our first map and take a look at the radar across the Midwest, and where we're seeing our tornado warning in effect right here. So we have a tornado warning down here across southern Iowa, and this line of thunderstorms is severe warning from top to bottom. So we have a cluster of severe thunderstorms over western Iowa, and that's going to be headed up towards Minnesota and Wisconsin. With this line holds together, we're going to be seeing these severe thunderstorms making their way towards northern Illinois and south central Wisconsin. So if you're in Madison, in those regions, expect to see that line of severe thunderstorms. And we're going to be seeing those severe thunderstorms up into Minnesota as well. We're going to see some severe thunderstorms, especially later in the day and into the evening hours, is where we're going to expect severe thunderstorms here across the upper Midwest and the upper Mississippi River Valley here across the Twin Cities, where we're going to be seeing that very heavy rain. It's going to be the primary threat. Heavy rain and damaging winds is going to be the primary causes of concern with these rounds of severe thunderstorms. And we're going to see things settle down a little bit tomorrow. We're still going to have a chance of showers and some non-severe thunderstorms, but today and tonight we're going to see that potential for severe storms out there across the upper Midwest. And as we take a look at our severe thunderstorm threat today across the Midwest, here mainly across Iowa, western Illinois, northern Missouri, southwestern Wisconsin, and southeastern Minnesota, very far southeastern Minnesota, and that extends up to the Twin Cities, where we have that. We have a 5 out of 5, so this is our extreme threat for severe weather here across mainly Iowa. So Des Moines is right in the center of that mass of the gray here, so that's where we have the best dynamics to see severe thunderstorms capable of producing EF2 or larger tornadoes. Derecho, that's going to be a possibility as well. And we're going to see large hail, 2-inch diameter hail, damaging winds with winds in excess of 75 miles per hour. We have that derecho the other night that produced some winds in some areas as high as 100 miles per hour. So derecho, we can certainly see those damaging winds out there with those straight line winds from those thunderstorms. So as we head into a forecast for tonight, we're going to have the chance for severe thunderstorms from Texas, so that includes Dallas and Tulsa, and through Springfield, Missouri, St. Louis, Kansas City, Omaha, Nebraska, Des Moines, Chicago, Milwaukee, Minneapolis, and Marquette, Michigan. We're going to see the threat there, and that's going to extend all the way to the Detroit area as well. The possibility, the chance for severe thunderstorms, but right in this region right here across Iowa is where we're going to have the greatest risk for that severe weather today. And then tomorrow night, that shift focuses to the Ohio Valley, and especially down here across the mid to lower Mississippi River Valley area and through the Ozarks. So East Texas, Oklahoma, Central Missouri, Arkansas, Southern Missouri, where we're going to have the greatest threat for severe thunderstorms with damaging winds and large hail and tornadoes as we head into your Wednesday and Wednesday night. And then on Thursday, that shift focuses to the central and southern plains. So Texas, Oklahoma, Kansas, and that's going to extend the chance for severe thunderstorms all the way up to South Dakota, southwestern Minnesota, Iowa, Missouri, Arkansas, western Mississippi, maybe parts of northern Louisiana near Shreveport. So Waco, Abilene, Dallas, Shreveport, Little Rock, Oklahoma City, Springfield, Wichita, Kansas City, Omaha, and as well as Kearney, Nebraska. We're going to see that likelihood for severe weather tomorrow, and we're going to see the chance for tornadoes with that severe weather with damaging winds and large hail. Heavy rain is going to be possible. Here is our storm reports from the last 48 hours. So yesterday, and we have severe weather. So we had tornado here in western Illinois. We had several other tornadoes across Missouri and across Kansas as well. Here we had a derecho move across Iowa from Nebraska into Iowa. So we have those damaging winds up to 100 miles per hour, and we had some hail. So we had lots of severe weather, hundreds of severe weather reports across the plains and into the upper Midwest yesterday. Here is your forecast across America today. So we're going to see those thunderstorms here across the Midwest, in the central and northern the central to northern plains, the upper Midwest. We're going to see those showers and thunderstorms. Nice weather in the east, nice in the southeast, nice along the Gulf Coast today. So most of the severe and wet weather is taking place through the Great Lakes in the upper Midwest and the northern and upper north. The northern plains and the central plains is where we're going to see thunderstorms. Nice, beautiful, dry weather, high pressure in command out across the western United States, and we're seeing very nice temperatures as well. A little bit warm in the southwest, where we're seeing those temperatures there in the 90s in Phoenix, but very nice in Southern California there in the LA and San Diego with high temperatures today reaching 70s, the lower 70s. So nice weather on the west coast, stormy in the Midwest and in the plains. Here is your surface map and radar overlay. We're seeing lots of scattered showers and thunderstorms up here across the upper Midwest, Minnesota, Wisconsin, the upper peninsula of Michigan. We're seeing those showers and storms across Iowa. They're coming out of Wyoming and Kansas as well. We're seeing those showers and thunderstorms. And we got a few thunderstorms here across the Texas and into Oklahoma. So Tulsa down to Dallas, we got some showers and thunderstorms as well. Here is your temperatures for this current time in history. And we got very warm weather across the south and the eastern half of the United States. We're looking at temperatures in the 70s in the northeast, 70s to lower 80s, 80s in the mid-Atlantic. We're seeing some 80s temperatures there, near 90 all the way down to Texas. So very warm out there across the Midwest and the East today. A little bit on the chilly side across the northern plains, mainly due to cloud cover and rain. So we're seeing a lot of wet weather across Minnesota, northern Wisconsin, the Dakotas as well. We're seeing some wet weather and into Montana, so it's going to be cooler. And then we're also seeing cooler conditions across the higher elevations across Utah, Colorado, Idaho, and into Wyoming. So here's those dew point temperatures. This is where the humidity is, and we can see that humidity extending all the way into the Great Lakes and the upper Midwest, with dew points in the 60s, and we're seeing those dew points starting to reach into the 50s and 60s in the Northeast as well. We're seeing dew points in the mid-60s across the interior of New England. So the interior of Vermont, New Hampshire, New York, and Pennsylvania. But a little bit, it's still some areas, I'll say the deeper moisture hasn't made it up to Boston yet, hasn't made it up to Augusta or Bangor, but it did make it to Boston, where the dew point 63, and we're seeing those dew points in the 60s all the way down the southeastern coastline, and we're seeing some dew points in the 80s all the way down to Texas. So it's starting to feel humid out there. It's pretty uncomfortable across the deep south and the Gulf Coast. So Houston, New Orleans, into Florida, Alabama, Mississippi, Arkansas, Texas, Oklahoma, especially eastern Oklahoma and East Texas is where you're feeling the moisture pretty heavy. So pretty high heat indexes as well. We're having those temperatures in the 80s, but it's feeling like it's 100 degrees in some locations. We have a flood watch up here across the upper Midwest. So a lot of rain is expected here into Minnesota up to the Canadian border down through Iowa. We're going to see a lot of rainfall. So we have an aerial flood watch in that area. We're also looking at aerial flood watch down across the Southern Plains into southern Oklahoma as well, because of thunderstorms producing heavy rain. But down here, far south Texas, we're the border at the Rio Grande with Mexico in the Gulf, we have a heat advisory in place, one of the first heat advisories across the state of Texas. So far south Texas, we have a heat advisory, and up here across the plains, we have dry conditions. So there is a fire advisory across that region. Here is where all the thunderstorms are. You can see the lightning strikes. We have thunderstorms here across western Iowa. This is a cluster of storms where they're severe and tornado warned. We have that cell that has a tornado warning attached to it across southern Iowa. We're looking at thunderstorms into Wisconsin, Minnesota. We have thunderstorms in the Northeast, so upstate New York, maybe across Massachusetts and Connecticut. We're looking at some thunder showers over that way. So, and there's thunderstorms across the southern plains, so Oklahoma into Texas. We're looking at some more thunderstorms and some thunderstorms down here across South Florida today as well. So this is our active tornado watch, which includes Minnesota, parts of Wisconsin, and Iowa. So Des Moines, the Twin Cities, Sioux Falls, all you folks is in the tornado watch area, and parts of western, so the Quad Cities, Quincy, Illinois as well. So western Illinois, Iowa, Minnesota, maybe a small portion of Wisconsin around, let's say, La Crosse, has a tornado watch in effect right now. And this is our heat advisory down across South Texas. So Brownsville, Texas to Corpus Christi to Laredo. It's already hot as hell down here, but it's really hot right now. So a little bit early to be this hot. And here is our heat indexes. These are forecast highs tomorrow across the south. Look at that, 105 in Laredo, Texas. Del Rio, 103. Corpus Christi, 91. 88 in Houston. 92 in Austin. 84 in Dallas. 86 in Shreveport. Alexandria, 87. 87 in New Orleans. But don't forget, the humidity and those heat indexes will be in the upper 90s to near 100 for all you folks down there tomorrow. And we're going to see those temperatures forecast highs across. Again, we already looked at that. So, Memorial Day is coming. So, here's a look at some regional forecasts for Memorial Day Monday. So, we're going to stand over here, but we're going to see some wet weather across the Northeast. So, Maine down to Washington, D.C. and Pittsburgh. We're going to see some rain showers and thunderstorms. But these are temperatures and the weather conditions for select cities in the Northeast. So find the area you're near and you can kind of guesstimate what your weather is going to be like. And this is what we're going to see across the Southeast. Again, wet weather across the Mid-South. So from Atlanta to South Carolina, through parts of Alabama into Mississippi, so north of Jackson, we're going to see a swath of rain showers, some thunderstorms, nice dry weather in Florida, but it's going to be hot as hell, and those dew points are going to suck, and those temperatures will suck right around with it. And so here is the weather across the Midwest. This is mostly, we're going to see some wet weather across South Dakota, Nebraska, Kansas, maybe southwestern Minnesota, western Iowa, and west central Missouri. But other than that, it's going to be dry weather. So mostly a dry day for the Twin Cities for Memorial Day, but a little bit cooler. Southern California, the beach forecast. So, going to be chilly, a little bit cool, kind of cool for going to the beach. I don't want to go to the beach when it's this cold. 60s in Orange County, Huntington Beach. Long Beach is kind of boring. It's not really a good beach area because of the port of Los Angeles, and Long Beach is there. So it has Cabrillo Beach, but I remember going to Cabrillo Beach when I was a kid, and it was kind of boring because of it faces due south. So it's not the best place to see waves on this beach. You want the more open beaches like Huntington Beach, Newport. That's a great stretch of coastline because it's open and it faces the southwest. So more westward. Santa Monica is okay too. You can see Santa Monica up there. It's going to be in the 60s. Morning low clouds and fog will burn off the hazy afternoon sunshine. But that morning fog is going to hang on a little bit. So that's going to help to keep those temperatures down. Again, here is the Northwest Memorial Day forecast. And if you're in Seattle, a little bit cool in Seattle, but nice for Spokane. So a bit warmer over the interior of Washington and Oregon. Portland is going to be 75. So 68 in Seattle is not bad. So nice weather on the West Coast in the Northwest. That's your weather forecast for your Memorial Day. My name is Mr. G. We'll be updating this weather forecast as we go through the week. And I will be back with y'all tomorrow. I had to take the time off from the video yesterday and Sunday because, you know, I got some time with the family and stuff like that. So, it will do it for today. Thank you for watching. Leave your likes, comments, subscribe on YouTube or TikTok. Have a good evening and be safe out there in the Midwest because those storms are going to probably be a little bit rambunctious today.